We had two pretty serious topics to start the day, and now to close everything out, we got two stories of things that definitely 100% happened. Believe me, especially during Black History Month, there was just open, out and out racism that would make the fucking police in Montgomery, Alabama in the 1950s fucking blush. Black woman says Delta, the airline, that fringe outline, moved her to the back of the plane for white passengers. This is a story that definitely happened. A black woman has accused the Delta Airlines of discrimination after a flight attendant allegedly asked her to move to the back of the plane to make room for two white women. Sure, sweetie, I'm sure. Move to the back of the plane. Not you're sitting in these women's spot. Okay, your seat's just right over there. If you could just go to your seat. Okay. No, I'm sure it was, hey darky, get to the fucking back where the rest of you people go. I'm sure that's exactly how this played out, sweetheart. And you aren't just try to file a discrimination lawsuit in Black History Month. I'm sure all of this shit is just a little bit of a quinky goddamn dink. Sure it is. Camille Henderson said she was sitting near row 15 window during a February 3rd flight from Atlanta to San Francisco. Okay, people, okay, like Atlanta's a big hub for Delta. Okay, that's fine. Atlanta and Minneapolis. Okay, two big hub cities for Atlanta. But they're going to San Francisco, and you're telling me that there's a bunch of white supremacists flying to San Francisco. Again, do you need any more red flags? If you needed any more doubt in this situation, okay, if you wanted to see a story that looks exactly like a North Korean military rally, here you go. Yeah, no, they were off to that shit-infested hellhole San Francisco when the women who were sitting in an aisle and middle seats in the row next to her. So if she's in the window and these women were in the aisle and middle seats next to her, a row over, okay, said that they had first-class tickets. Okay, that's nice. They felt like they were ticketed first-class seats, but they couldn't provide the tickets. Okay, what are you getting at here? Henderson told the news outlet, adding that the women continued to complain for over an hour, so you got sat next to some Karens. Sucks to suck. Hopefully you get a better flight next time. Henderson recorded part of the exchange between the women and the flight attendant. Unfortunately, my first-class seats are occupied. One woman is heard saying, according to the recording obtained by ABC7, "They are what?" Another person is heard saying, "They're occupied." The woman answered, "Oh my God." That is the face of sheer terror, knowing that a couple of Karens are coming to take her seat. Henderson told the station that flight attendants then came up with a solution to give the women more space at her expense. "Are you flying by yourself?" a person is heard asking Henderson. Remember, she rather recorded the audio of some of this, not for her own gain, I'm sure, and probably wasn't edited after the fact. I'm taking what she's saying to ABC7 at 100% face value. This is definitely something that happened. I believe her. "Are you flying by yourself?" a person is heard asking Henderson, who replies that she is. "There's a seat back there in aisle 35. It's an aisle seat," the apparent attendant says. Henderson, oh my God, she just told her, get to the fucking back of the plane. "There's an aisle seat back there in 35. Are you flying by yourself?" She says yes. "Okay, cool. What do you want here?" Henderson, who said the crew did not ask the women to move, agreed reluctantly to go to the back row. This is discrimination. They said that there was an aisle seat at the back of the plane, and maybe you said that they couldn't produce the tickets, but maybe they did, and maybe somebody was mistaken in the situation that you just, I don't know, just fucking sat down. I'm not trying to ascribe any more malice than is necessary to you. I'm just saying some shit's not adding up on this one. I know, right? Big shock. Henderson, who said the crew did not ask the women to move, agreed reluctantly to move to the back row, according to the outlet. Oh my God. "I didn't want to make it a race thing, but instead of asking the two white women who were seated next to me to move in an attempt to accommodate them, they basically made me have to move." They didn't say I had to move. They just said basically I had to kind of maybe potentially move. So instead of moving two people, they seen one person, sat by themselves, and they said, these broads is being rowdy. Do you mind? I was like, no, I was treated. This is a race crime. Rosa Parks is spinning in her grave right now, mostly knowing that a black woman is flying on the white man's plane. I just don't know why I had to move. You didn't. Nobody told you to move. You just thought that basically you kind of maybe potentially should move. I have to move because that's the seat I paid for. That was my assigned seat. You could have said that, she added. I was just walking back there. It's just humiliating that you did a nice thing that you would have been properly accommodated for. Is like, I'm sure the Delta staff would hook you up with some really nice treatment on the plane for accommodating them and helping out with a customer service situation. Like having the entire flight look at you and asking what's going on. Imagine caring about what other people think that much. But I guess if you have a sob story to spin, you need to embellish certain details. Henderson said that she was unsatisfied with what Delta customer service rep she finally reached on the phone and told her, how were you humiliated for them to ask you to go to another seat? Good question. And did they even ask you to go to another seat? So far, the only thing that you provided is that they were like, are you flying by yourself? There's another seat, 34. It's another aisle seat. Did they say go? Am I missing something? Can we run this back again? Are you flying by yourself? A person is heard asking Henderson, who replies, yes, she is. There's a seat back there in aisle 34. It's an aisle seat. So like, and then she grabbed me by my nappy hair and just drug me kicking and screaming to the back and said what I was yelling out for, mammy, mammy, please. I'd imagine that detail is probably coming in here very shortly as well. This is fucking insane. So yes, how are you humiliated for them to ask you to go to another seat? The person can be heard asking in a recording she provided to the outlet. Can you verify any of this authenticity? And isn't California a two-party consent state? Interesting. When it comes to recording anyways, I'm not entirely sure. I just like somebody to provide some evidence in this very real, very legitimate situation. You're basically saying there's nothing you can do. She told the rep, you voluntarily moved. I don't know what the fuck else to tell you. They're taking advantage of that on the plane. It's like, hey, I helped you out with this one. Can you, hook me up with some drinks and some food? They'd probably be like, yeah, no, thanks. You really got us out of this tough situation. But no, you're just trying to play the victim now on ABC 7. No, not under these circumstances. That's I'm showing, ma'am. The person is heard replying. Yeah, exactly. What infraction can you point on the board exactly? What was violated here? Oh, my feelings. Delta has no tolerance for discrimination in any form, and these allegations run counter to our deeply held values of respecting and honoring the diversity of our customers. Just not, the diversity of medical decisions that's held by our flight crews, because we'll just go ahead and fire anybody that we don't agree with. Me as a black woman, I was displaced to make two white women comfortable. Do we even know that? Or is this just, he said, she might have said, that doesn't make any sense to me. She told the outlet. Yeah, cool. Cry more. I'm sure that there's a lot of people that can back up your claims on this one. I'm sure they're coming right through on the woodwork. Anyways, like I said, a totally factual scenario played out. A Texas doctor, get this, a Texas doctor suing Chase Bank for denying service. They didn't respect my credentials. Well, welcome to the exclusive group of everybody on the right, where now the banking institutions, they're pretty much at the whim of the government, especially in Canada. You want to donate to those truckers? You're a single mother, you donate $50, you'll have your bank account frozen. But no, this was a race crime in Texas with Chase Bank, okay? A Houston doctor suing JPMorgan Chase at First Colony, trying to give you money to the colonizers, I see. Branch in Sugarland, Texas. Not a poor area. After she said she was discriminated against and denied service because of the color of her skin. I fucking bet. Dr. Malika Mitchell-Stewart. It's probably because your name was a little bit too long for the application form. Said that she had just finished her residency on December 18th. Oh, cool. So a fresh new med school grad. Nothing woke about this situation at all. On December 18th, 2021, she went to Chase First Colony Bank to open an account and deposit a $16,000 check from her new job at Valley Oaks Medical Group. You got your first check was $16,000. I've never even seen that much money on a fucking check before. That's impressive. And you're telling me the bank wasn't just, chomping at the bit for your service? Something seems off here. Somebody's leaving out some details. According to the lawsuit, staff members at the bank were like, Nobody gives a black person that much money. Staff members of the bank asked peculiar questions about the validity of her check. Yeah, literally. Okay, here, your funny story, a little bit of a tangent, okay? I used to bank at, credit union. They've been under, 75 different fucking name changes since I banked there before, so I'm not even going to keep current with whatever they're going by. Maybe it's service now at this point, but whatever. No, I had bank account there open for... I don't know, like the better part of a decade, okay? And never overdrafted, never did anything wrong, okay? Never had a whole bunch of money in it. I was in my, early 20s and whatever. I had enough to get by, and it was just a simple checking account, but I always had just, regular income from it. But the job that I had at the time, it was like literally the last place on earth that would give out physical checks, okay? And then all of a sudden, for no good fucking reason, I went to go deposit my paycheck into my bank account, and because being the white trash piece of shit that I actually am, I had bills to pay. It's like every 2 weeks you got bills to pay and you have ideas of how you're going to be spending your paycheck. Fucking imagine that. It was at that point where you didn't have as much money in said bank account as you would after cashing that check or depositing that check. And they were just going to decide arbitrarily because there was a bunch of other fraudulent checks in the area. So now, even though your account has been in upstanding condition for the better part of a decade and you've never had a check bounce before, we're just going to go ahead and hold your paycheck for 5 days to make sure that it clears. No reason for it at all whatsoever. So if we're following along on this, maybe I should sue because maybe they were discriminating against natives. It's like natives don't have that good of credit. Those goddamn TP lovers. Maybe it was the Irish side of me. Maybe they're following along with those old signs that used to be hanging up about colorful words for blacks and Irish need not apply. Maybe that's what they were doing. But anyways, like I said, tangent. But let's see. Yeah, according to the lawsuit, staff members of the bank asked peculiar questions about the validity of her check and her employment as a doctor. Yeah, okay, because you show up. I want to open a bank account. I have a $16,000 check from a hospital. They probably have several questions, okay? And especially if it's a brand new account, they don't want to be, cashing this check and then just have it rubber banding out of your account after everything's all been spent days later after they hold it. I understand the situation in this, and also I've been on the other side of this too, so if she didn't decide that all of a sudden this is a big racism happening from a major bank, because unlike me, I was at just a local shitty credit union. I wasn't dealing with TD or Bank of Montreal or, one of the big institutions that's out here. This is JPMorgan Chase. You don't get much bigger than that. As soon as Dr. Mitchell-Stewart showed employees at First Colony branch her check, they immediately treated her like a criminal. I highly doubt it. Mitchell-Stewart said bank employees denied her service and said the check was fraudulent. Maybe they looked at it. Maybe they were asking questions and you got into a big huff. Oh, I should be able to cash this check right away. And it's like, listen, dude, that's a lot of fucking money to just show up with and want to start an account. We don't know anything about you. We're going to have to run a credit check because that's a standard operating procedure when it comes to opening a bank account. Maybe it's different in Sugar Land, Texas. I'm not entirely sure. Mitchell-Stewart said her bank employees denied her service. Yeah, said the check was fraudulent. It's an unfortunate situation. It's so unfortunate that you need to cause a big huff and sue JPMorgan and Chase. I'm not simping for the bank. I'm just saying there are details here that'll probably come out in or rather not, in a nice little covert settlement. Just saying. Because it's just easier to pay these fucking frivolous lawsuits off and not just, bring them to trial, even though they probably have a good case. It's like, this is retarded. What would be their lawyers' opening statements? Judge, this was an unfortunate situation. They took my special moment away. I felt like a criminal. Cashing a check is a special moment? Holy fuck, dude. I've never done anything wrong. Yeah, it sucks. Banks are garbage. More at 11. In order to get Texas medical license or a medical license at all, you have to have a clean record. You have to go to school for many years. Again, credit check. Okay, it doesn't matter if you've been in the clink or not, which is something odd for you to bring up yourself, but whatever. And they didn't care. They didn't respect that. They didn't respect my credentials. I'm sure you probably came in a white lab coat and you were like, I'm a doctor and I have money and I'd like to open a bank account. Well, we have to run a credit check. You are treating me like a criminal and I am suing you. Somebody was looking to be a victim. Mitchell-Stewart showed proof of identification. She showed proof that she was a doctor by presenting a business card. Cool. Nobody's ever been able to falsify a business card before. She even called employees from her medical group to confirm who she was. Again, that's like, oh my god, sorry. This will be a shorter tangent, by the way. I had to get my driver's license renewed a couple of years ago. Actually, no. Yeah, legitimately a couple of years ago. I'm a man of a certain age, so I've had to renew my driver's license a couple of times at this point. Even at the same place where I previously renewed my driver's license and multiple other official government documents, and I had everything that I needed. Okay, everything that I needed to fucking renew my license. And all of a sudden, oh no, we need a bill to confirm that you still live at the residence. That hasn't changed. So this is the easiest fucking thing in the world. Just give me the temp license with all of the same fucking information that's on there, and we'll be done with it. No, we need a paper bill. Okay, we need a paper bill that's sent to your house. It's like, do you think I carry that shit on just willy-nilly whenever the fuck you decide? Some fucking retard out there decides that, oh, we need to verify, with that thing that's been, done away with for the better part of a decade at this point, okay? Everybody gets their bills electronically at this point. So I had to take out my phone, okay? I had to go into the cell phone provider app and figure out how to pull up a fucking digital copy of the bill. And she just looked at the screen for 10 seconds and it's like, okay, that's good enough. It's like, you fucking cunt. I hope somebody stuffs a potato in your fucking exhaust pipe and your vehicle blows up, killing everybody else in the parking lot. I'm not bitter about that at all whatsoever. I just think renewing your driver's license is retarded and just a way for the government to take a little bit more money. But more about vehicles and the state at another later date. Let's finish this very real, very unfortunate situation. When ABC reached out to Chase Bank officials regarding the incident, they gave you the same old boilerplate statement. We take these matters very seriously. We're investigating the situation. Realize that everybody probably just followed fucking procedures to begin with, and Mitchell-Stewart might be a bit of a liar. Very cute, but very annoying. And as you can see, in the little impromptu press conference, I'm not going to play the video because that's AIDS and shit. She's got on her white lab coat just showing how much of a doctor she is. Yeah, okay, cool. This is definitely a very real scenario. Just like the first one who, get to the back of the plane. Sure, that happened. Again, I was denied service at a brand new bank with a $16,000 check, and they said that my check was fraudulent. Did they say that your check was fraudulent, or were they just, questioning whether or not you worked at the place that you said that you did? Maybe they had some questions, which is their right to, but I'm sure you'll be given gold tier service whenever, they bend over backwards, and they'll probably match your first contribution to just the settlement to shut you the fuck up and prove how not racist these companies are, because they'll just bend over backwards for their social justicing messaging. But should have filed this a little bit earlier. Actually, I thought that said March 3rd anyways. No, she filed it February 3rd. Coincidentally, the same date that flight from, I don't know, Chauncey, whatever her fucking name was, Washington, took her flight, for her very racist flight. Strange how all these things just kind of coincide with one another. But with that said, thank you all very much. Enough fucking rambling. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.